My name is Professor Brian McGraw. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Science, Technology and Engineering at the Trobe University in Melbourne, Australia. And it's my great pleasure to be here to sign an exchange agreement with JSS University, which builds on a 3-year Memorandum of Understanding which we first developed in 2010. That Memorandum of Understanding was very important to us because it provided opportunities for our students to come over to Mysore, particularly our pharmacy students, to learn about the way you do pharmacy over here, the science you do, and to give them a fantastic international experience over here in India. But this exchange relationship which we're now developing actually builds on that in a further way and allows for reciprocal movement of staff and students to both our countries. So next year we will be welcoming students from Mysore and the pharmacy department to come and join us in Bendigo in Australia. And at the same time we have a PhD student, a member of staff, a professor in the area of human nutrition, and more of our students actually will be coming over here too. This builds on a relationship we've had with universities here in Bangalore as well, not just JSS University, but also relationships with the Bangalore University of Science and Agriculture, and also with the Presidency College as well. These are very important relationships which we have within the city of Bangalore, and it's always a great pleasure to come back here. I must say that we've always been made to feel very, very welcome here, and our philosophy in the university is to develop a small number of high-quality partnerships which we work at very hard. And so it's particularly pleasurable for me to see this relationship with JSS today being signed, and to provide those opportunities for our students and for Indian students to become much more globalized in the way they look at education, the way they look at science, and the way they look at their futures and their future careers.
What are the security measures taken by Australian universities there for India?
Yeah, about 2-3 years ago, of course, everyone will remember there were a lot of reports of bashings in Melbourne and other cities in Australia. Whilst this only affected a very small number of students, as I've said earlier, I think one such event is one too many. I have children of my own who've actually worked abroad too, and the worst thing you can imagine is that they would be unsafe in that overseas country. In fact, my daughter works here in India, in Mysore and Ooty, so she knows this area very well. So we take our responsibilities extremely seriously about the way we look after our students in India, from India rather. And I think the first measure we took when we heard about this was to make sure that they were properly briefed about areas where they might be more unsafe in the city of Melbourne. So to reduce the behaviour that could put them at greater risk in the way they worked, in where they lived, and when they went out at night as well. That's been very much helped by the police, who have been completely on board with this, and the local community as well, who have responded magnificently. And I'm very pleased to say that that news story is now really out of the press now. We don't hear of attacks on Indian students anymore. I don't personally believe that they were racially motivated. I think they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because if you read the papers at the time, you would see that Australian students, British students who are travelling in Australia were also subject to these bashings as well. And I think it's just a particular feature of overseas students. When they come to a foreign country, they perhaps don't understand which areas are more dangerous and where they shouldn't be. And it's the same in any city, in any large city in the world, whether it be London or Delhi or Melbourne. And so I'm very pleased to see that has happened, and the number of incidents has declined. To make another point, which I mentioned at the press conference too, is the importance of international students to us at the Trobe University. Currently we're around 20% of our student body is actually from overseas, and we're intending to grow that to 25% over the next 5 years. And as I already said too, in my faculty, Science, Technology and Education, perhaps not surprisingly, the majority of students actually come from India and China. And we're obviously hoping to build on that and increase the number of students we have coming from India to join us in Australia, but at the same time also to enrich the experience that Indian students have in Australia by recruiting students from other countries too. So we're paying a lot of attention to Southeast Asia, to the Middle East, to the United States, to South America and so on.